Real quickly, this video that I'm about to share with you guys is probably more valuable than any of my other videos. So if you don't watch any of my other videos, see if you could stick through this 45-minute long video, because it's basically going to be about the systems in our world that's falling apart. There's many of them. I have 6 of them that I've been doing my research on, experimenting and living it through my own journey with it. There's many systems that are falling. I'm sure you guys already know about some of them. I'm just gonna name 6 of them here. Good information. Hopefully I could help someone. If you're a parent struggling with your child, made some mistakes, because I know we all make mistakes as being parents, then you might get some good info out of this video. If not, maybe something from what we're going through in society. I hope to shed some light on someone. Again, I consider myself a researcher. So what I'm doing is just gathering a lot of information and still trying to figure things out for myself. But there's a lot of stuff that I've actually lived. I went through some trauma, and this is not a victim story here. I passed that already. I'm just trying to share my experiences, share my heart breaks, I guess, being a parent, struggling as a mom, and dealt with some stuff. I'm in my 50s, so I could honestly, confidently say that us 50-year-olds know some shit, okay? And hopefully you guys could find something, I guess, meaningful in my video. So that's all. But I plead with you, if you're a parent and you want to know some information about things that are going to help you make decisions for your kids' health, for your kids' education, and make decisions for whatever we're going through right now in the economy with work and finances, anything. I consider myself a researcher. I kind of dig through information and see what I come up with, and I'm always curious about new information. I don't know everything, and I'm not trying to say I know everything, but I lived through some stuff. I'm in my 50s. I lived through some really, really dramatic things, and I would love to share with you. This might be a couple of parts to this video, but real quickly, this video was actually inspired. I've had this on my mind for so long. I just never actually had the courage to make this video. I never even wanted to talk about this, but I'm gonna be more authentic with you guys on this video than I ever was on my other videos. But that's why I say, don't even watch my other videos. Just watch this one and see if you could get some information out of it that's actually going to help you in your life, with your family, and to kind of wake up, because I'm still waking up. And I just want to say, I don't want to get emotional, so there's a few things that I want to say real quickly. I'm at Amazon right now. My daughter has an interview, and because of what she's going through, mental health, we're an hour early. She's in there. God knows what she's doing. Who knows? But I wanted to make this quick video and not keep chatting away. I took a little bit of notes because this video is so important to me, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, this video is more important to me than all my other videos. And I have 83 videos up right now. And this is, to me, the most important video. So like I said, don't watch any of my other videos. Don't even like this video. But just hear me out. And especially if you're a parent. What I wanted to express is that because I am such I'm always curious about stuff, and my curiosity came when my husband, I was like always fascinated about stuff, but it came when my husband was diagnosed with terminal cancer back in 2008, and he was given 6 months to live. That led me to want to explore not just different outlets for healing, but wanted to question the health system, and before I continue, I just want to say, and I will say this a few times, question everything, guys. The whole system, all the systems that we're involved in dealing with right now are actually falling apart. And I'm going to share as to what are some of the systems. But for one, I became fascinated with healings of the body, health, ways to heal your body through different alternatives. When it comes to that, me and my husband started digging, researching. We were researchers back in 2008 about the body and the cancer and stuff. We saw so many people cure themselves without chemo and radiation. And before chemo and radiation existed, people were actually curing themselves through cancer. So anyways, that's where it all started for me, where I just became very curious about things in that nature, like, what else is out there, like, let me question the medical field. Let me question, like, why chemotherapy? Why not this? Well, how did this person cure from a terminal illness without chemo and radiation? How did they survive 10 plus years without taking any chemo? So those started in 2008, where I was curious and I was just like asking questions about the health system, because my husband was diagnosed with that. And he lived to 3 years. And but that's a whole nother story I would love to share on another time, because this video is not about that specifically. But that's where my question started. I questioned the health system. That was back in 2008. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Us 50 plus year olds know some shit. Okay, so I am not here to tell you not to take chemo or radiation. God knows I'm not here to tell you that. I'm just here to share my story, my experience that I went through, and I'm also here to awaken something in you to question as to maybe there is something else. Maybe there is a better way. Maybe there's other ways. Maybe there's a different path, instead of taking the same path as society wants you to take, or we've been so conditioned to believe that that's the only path. Okay, so number one, question the health system. Okay, always question it. The second one I wanted to say to question, because I think we should be questioning everything, not just for parents, but in general. Question mental health. Okay, and I could speak on that. I'm not proud of this, guys, but I made some mistakes along the way, parenting, raising my children after my husband passed away. And my oldest son, who was his stepson, was the first one back in 2014, right after my husband passed away. He developed some type of mental illness, and I had to question that too. I had to question it, and I said, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be other alternatives. I didn't force medication, psychiatric meds, and he was in the hospital. He tried to commit suicide, and I had to question that too. I said, what am I doing? Where did I go wrong? How can I help him? How could I support him? There's got to be a natural alternative way. There's got to be another way. And I don't want to accept the label on my son. I don't want to accept that. And he was labeled 3 different types of labels, and I'm sure you guys could already guess one of them, which is schizophrenia. And I was like, nope, my son, I'm not gonna focus on labels. Let me see what I could do. And that took me on a journey to ask a lot of questions, question the psychiatrist, question doctors, even question therapists. That took me on a whole other rabbit hole here, guys. And I questioned everything. I did my research, and today, fast forward to today, that was my first situation with questioning the mental health, which, by the way, they are so far behind in technology and everything today. So when that happened to my son, 2014, it's 2026, and I could tell you right now, my son is doing great. He's not perfect. He's not, he's got skills. I don't want to get into all the stuff when it comes to my son, because that's not what this video is about. But I'm just, I want to kind of touch on him a little bit. But that's, okay. So fast forward to today. um I'm still questioning the mental health system, okay? Now, I made some more mistakes along the way. You know, we all went through trauma. I went through some stuff with abusive relationship, and very, very abusive mentally, physically, emotionally, and about that time. And we were all just kind of clinging on to each other, like kind of witnessing our own trauma. Um, Not even sure how we actually overcame my husband's death back in 2012. I had my own personal trauma with that, my own personal healing, my own journey. My kids had it. My older son had it. He was, he went through some stuff, and I made some mistakes with him, but I also made some mistakes with my daughter, Yeah. So I'm going to be authentic with you guys, and I will share um, that my daughter also has gone through some mental illness starting from 2020. And some of the mistakes I made back then created that um, to leaving to up to today. So I'm still questioning that. So today I am more confident, more stronger, more knowledgeable in the how the brain works. I'm more what should be, I've done so much studies, and I did so much research. Again, getting back to the research, I'm not an expert. I'm not telling you not to take your child to a psychiatrist by all means, or not to take the psychiatric meds. I'm not telling you this. This is my own personal experience. This is my path of evolution, my path to take, my own experiences. None of them is easy. This path, my path without meds, my son never took psychiatric meds. Okay, that's one. Two, my daughter's not taking psychiatric meds. Okay, and she's going through it. So I'm reliving this again, and I'm questioning that too, guys. And it pushed my button to create this video. One thing that my brother said to me that made me say, oh, thank you. Thank you, brother, for saying this to me. He said, how, Erica, how do you going through it twice? And I said, I questioned myself that several years ago, but why the fuck do you care? And do I have to constantly try to explain myself to people? And I just got tired of it. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to make a video, and I'm just going to be as authentic as possible and put as much information as out there as possible. And whoever likes it, and benefits from it, or even gets a little bit of information, or awakens something in them, in their brain, in their neurons, something fires and be like, oh, I never thought about that, then great, I did my job. Like, I helped someone. Because when my husband had the terminal illness, I got information online, and many people actually helped me and wakened something in me, and something fired and wired in my brain, said, I never thought about another alternative. I never thought about another path besides chemo and radiation, which, by the way, we are conditioned to believe that's the only way. Okay, that's why I said question the health system, guys. Okay, I'm not saying not to take. Again, I'm not saying you do what's best for your family, for your kids, for yourself, for your spouse. You do what's best. But I'm just trying to awaken something in you to make you feel like there's so much more out there in the universe, so much more information for us to kind of just be like, if he could do it, or if she could do it, why can't I do it? And that's how I thought about my husband. That's how I thought about my older son going through the mental illness back in 2014. If somebody else overcame that, why not him? And now I see, if my son overcame that, why not my daughter? Okay. Question the okay, so number 2, question the mental health system, guys, because question the psychiatric meds, guys, because I did my research. Okay. And I came up with so much side effects to these psychiatric meds that you would not believe it. And this video is not about that. But there's no study out there for the long-term effects of these psychiatric meds on having patients on them. There's no research. I've only found research that actually shows, I think 6 weeks to 8 weeks, something like that. It was in the month. Okay. They need to inform patients of the health, the side effects of, they need to inform them of some of the scariest parts for me is like suicidal, more depressed, losing sense of self, losing interest in life, being on those psychiatric meds. You think I want my daughter to be a zombie? I don't think you want your kid to be on psychiatric meds either. I don't think anybody does. But I think that we feel like as parents that that's the only option. That's the only way out. That's the only thing that will help us. But we don't realize that there's so much more that we could question and explore and find out information and gather information and do our own due diligence of work and research that it's just amazing, guys, the stuff that I'm like literally the more I learn about the study of the brain, because I love to study the brain, especially my son going through that, and he inspired me with my situation with my son to explore more on the brain. That's why I'm a constant researcher when it comes to it. I'm not an expert, and I'm only sharing my stories based on my own personal experience. So I lost my track of time, my track of where I was at, guys. Bear with me. I am kind of looking because I don't know when my daughter's coming. This video is so important to me to put it out there, guys, and I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to share my story with you guys. If I could help that one person or shed some light on that one parent, one mom, one dad, then I could sleep good at night. And I know that I did my part. And again, do your homework, because ask questions and educate yourself about those psychiatric meds, because there is no going on the path of medication and going on the path without medication for mental health patients is pretty much both painful. I gotta admit, I've watched people on meds, and I've seen what it does to them, and I'm watching my own story unfold for me, my own chapters in my book where it's painful. It's literally so painful. And this is the time when you want someone to be compassionate, someone to be supportive, not necessarily give their 2 cents. I'm not asking for opinions. I'm not asking for help financially. Like, I don't need you to pay my bills. But you know what? If you're a brother, if you're a sister, if you're a parent, sometimes all we need is just someone to just kind of hear us out, or just grab our shoulders and just be like, I'm here. That's it. That's all we need. Do you need compassion for that? Yes. Are we all equipped with that? No. Some of us are not. There's family members in my family that don't have the capacity to have the compassion or even the empathy to relate. Because empathy, you have to recognize that person going through some type of pain. Empathy. They don't have it. They put on this persona that they do, but they don't, because when it hits, when reality is there, and the big fight happened at my parents' house, which inspired me to make this video, and I gotta hurry up because it's 17 minutes already, and I'm only on number 2, and I need to get to 6. So bear with me, guys. I got some really good stuff that I really hope that it'll shed some light in your life and inspire you to think differently, create something differently, work towards something, feel the power within you that you are a powerful being, that we are, and that society wants to keep us in this box, and I'm trying to make you think outside the box. And a lot of people call it getting out of the matrix. Some people call it, information in the universe where it's already been created. You just crack, and you just grab information and you run with it, or try to crack the code. I don't know. Divine guidance guiding you into something more magnificent, to share your story. But anyways, number 2 is mental health. Okay, guys, question mental health system. Okay, that's falling apart. Those are 2. Number 3 I wanted to talk about is the 9-to-5 job. Question that. I started questioning the 9 to 5 job before I even had a freaking job. I was a stay-at-home mom in 2008. My husband was given 6 months to live, terminal illness, and he inspired me to create a website for nothing but juicing, healthy eating. By the way, I'm still juicing, and it's been what, almost 20 years that I've been juicing, thanks to my husband, who inspired me to juice with him, because he wanted to do a therapy that required juicing with, you know, carrots and beets and all that stuff on a daily basis. And I had the whole family doing it. So anyways, but getting off that, see how I get off track all the time? It's just the way my brain is working, I guess, right now, because I'm kind of focusing on my daughter, and I'm still not comfortable with the camera. But I'm just gonna put this shit out there, and I'm just not gonna care. I mean, I want, like, if they're gonna criticize me, I've already been criticized by my family. I've been shit on by my family. So whoever makes any comments about my video, specifically this one, about what I've gone through, the choices I made for my family, I'm okay with that. I really am. Fuck them. Like, go ahead, put the negative comments. You know, I've been shitted on, like I said, for my family, so I really don't care. So question your 9 to 5 job, okay? Especially right now, guys, where people are getting laid off and losing their jobs. Question it. I was questioning that shit back, like I said, in 2008. I created a couple of websites, made a couple of bucks, and it was gone. I failed. Okay, I failed. Shit happened, life happened. My husband had to do a surgery. I lost track of that. Then I created a blog all about his health, and his all about his healing, his journey through cancer, which he, the 3 years that he survived, and family, what it was like being with him, what it was like being his caregiver, because that taught me so much things, because he was the best thing that happened to me. Like, I could honestly tell you that he, all right. Okay. Okay, so let me see how I still get emotional. But I don't want this to be, I'm not, okay, I passed that stage where I try to be the victim of my story. I'm not a victim, guys, okay? I'm a creator, okay? I'm not here to victimize myself or anybody. I'm just here to share my story and hope that someone could recognize their potential and their strength and their wisdom and run with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing right now. So question your 9 to 5. Okay, so I did the 2 websites, failed. I did a third one after he passed. That failed. What else? I've been on this YouTube for many years. You know, I'm still struggling to make it. As you guys can see, I still have a 9 to 5, but I've been questioning it, and I know where that 9 to 5 is going. And I'm gonna lead into that right now. I work for the school, so I'm involved in the education system. I'm a teacher's assistant, and I'm witnessing a lot of stuff, not just the research that I do online about how, getting back to skipping the 9 to 5. So I already talked about that. Number 4 is the education system. That's failing, guys. It's failing our children. And I wish I would have taken some notes, because I've been sharing this type of information, I think, on my Facebook since, I want to say, before COVID. Before COVID, I was talking about the colleges, the universities. They're gonna be obsolete, guys, okay? Your degree don't mean shit anymore. Most of the degrees are useless. And I kind of, what is it called? I'm kind of seeing a lot of stuff at work right now, where repetition of information, following orders, directions, all these multiplications, trying to memorize things, are irrelevant. AI could do it better for us, guys. AI could remember things better for us. Why are we still teaching that to our kids? we're setting them up to fail. I'm confident to say this, guys. I really am. I'm in the system. All three of my kids are out of school. They didn't graduate. I think only my daughter graduated high school. The other two didn't. They never went to college. I went to college. I got my associate's degree. So what? To me, that's just like, okay, I can't even use that right now. You know, like, okay, maybe 10, 20 years ago, that was like the shit. You know, companies were looking for that. Today, most companies don't even care if you have a master's degree. They don't care. They look at skills, trade, do you have emotional intelligence, can you work with AI tools, things like that. But let me just not get off the topic of that, because I wanted to share something also. I think we as parents focus too much on the A student, you know, my A student, and we kind of, I see it at work, you know, oh my God, we applaud the A students, even kindergartens. And I hear the number one complaint all the time is I hear behavior kids, kids that can't stay still, kids that question everything, kids that are not interested in the curriculums that are fucking boring. They're boring, guys. They're obsolete. We're using curriculums in the school to set up kids to fail when they graduate college. In like kindergartens are gonna, we're teaching them stuff that it's gonna be irrelevant. It's jobs are not going to be available for them, guys, when they graduate college. It's not. It's going to be obsolete. Why are we as parents, as teachers, are so fixated on this straight A student memorizing multiplications, or, you know, picking the right, when we do tests, pick the right, I don't know, circles or whatever. Why are we, that's why I just feel like I got 9 weeks left for this school. 9 weeks left, guys. After that, I don't know where it's going to lead to me. I don't know where I'm going to go. I might end up pushing through this YouTube channel and start monetizing it and making some money. I don't know. I'm being very optimistic about my online, because like I said, I've been at this since 2008. So it's way past overdue, guys. Like, no, I'm not giving up now, okay? So I am going to succeed online. I am going to be a successful entrepreneur online, okay? And so are you, because something's going to wake up in you and realize this 9-to-5 job is going away. It sucks. It's not going to pay anything. I can't create. I got to listen to the boss. I'm actually, I might be laid off. I might not even get the promotion that I'm looking for. Things of that nature, guys. You're going to wake up. Some of you are going to be like, realize it and be like, man, you know what? It's not going to work, this 9-to-5 anymore. It's not going to be, you know, people are still getting laid off and getting fired. So companies are closing. But anyways, that's number 4. Okay. I want to share that. Okay. Number 5 is, what was the number 5? Oh, question the law, guys. And I'm going to be, okay, so I researched this because it came up on my feed during COVID. And when I started looking at, possibly even buying a house, I was looking at this. And also, me and my husband had a house. Okay, we bought a house in 2005, and I lost it during 2008 when he got sick. We stopped paying the mortgage, and like you guys already know, when the house crisis happened in 2008, yeah, we were part of that. We were definitely part of that. And it didn't matter to us, though, you know, because we had, you know, we were battling terminal illness right there, and we were still trying to get our head wrapped around the idea of what, you know, what are we going to do now? You know, what's going to happen? So question the laws. If you're a homeowner, question your taxes, guys. Question it, because I've had this conversation numerous times, especially with my family, and they think I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm just taking this stuff out of like out of, like, I don't know, from the air. like I do my research, guys. Like, I've had a house. I've been through that crisis where, you know, where the market crashed. I've been through that. So I pay taxes with my husband, okay? And so it brought me back memories. And while I was doing research, um I actually came up. And also, guys, I work for the school district. So the school district asks homeowners for more taxes every fucking year. Don't you want to know why are you paying so much on your taxes on your house? Don't you want to know where it's going to? How is the school district dispersing that money? Where is it going? Is there some type of scam going on? Are they asking for more than they should? Is because maybe your house is not valued properly, maybe? Question that. Question the appraisal that comes out and says, hey, your house is worth, I value your house 300,000. So you got to pay, let's say, for example, 5,000 a year for the school district, blah, 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 for taxes. Okay, fine. The appraisal came out and did that to your house, right? Okay. Question that, because we're in a bubble right now. Your house is not worth 300,000. Your house is probably worth 270, 260, but yet you're paying taxes on that. Don't you want to know why? Question the appraisal, question the school district, ask questions. Where's my money going to? Show me where it's this. This is public information, guys. It's 2026. And I wanted people to wake up to that, because that's money in your pocket. People are doing it right now. Other states are doing it. Look it up. Do your research. Gather the information and go in your neighborhood, in your community, and ask, hey, let's go to City Hall. Let's go find out where our money is going to, and find out, why is my house being appraised this? And, ask questions, guys. That's that's, to me, is important too. I don't own a house right now, okay? But I could speak on the experience, because, like I said, I had one with my husband, okay? And I see people, I see, like, my family members own houses, and I think about them too. And like I said, I brought it to their attention, but they just don't really, like, have, like, I don't know, like, something just doesn't, they don't, like, who am I? I'm nobody special, guys, okay? I'm nobody special, okay? I just been through some shit, which we all have. And I know that nowadays we have to question everything more than ever before. Okay, more than ever before. And so that's 5. Now, what was 6? I think this was one of the other ones that I wanted to share, because right now, since the banking system is failing, I think the 6th one that I wanted to talk about is your and like I said, I did my research on this too, because when I went and got a job, this was brought up. Your 401k, your pension funds. Guys, question that. There's other alternatives that you could put your money in, and besides the stock market, okay? Question your pension funds. If you're a new one in the system, like I was like, they asked me too, like, do you want to pay? I'm like, no, I'm not paying it. Like, no, I know what's happening, and I know that that pension money is not going to be there for me or for my kids. It might not even all be there for the people that are retiring right now, or just recently retired, or about to retire. Think about that one, guys. Question your pension funds, find out information about that, so you could actually figure out plan B, or figure out your exit plan, or how you're gonna survive. Because right now, today, people that are retiring, I have a friend from my school. She made good money, 30 plus years as a social worker, very well off, her and her husband, very well off. And she just went back to work. I'm not going to get into the stories as to why, or but trust me, the conversation came up, and it's just not enough. And she sees things a little differently now than many people did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when it comes to your pension funds, okay? It's being wiped out, guys. I'm telling you right now. Pay attention to that. Your 401k, you think that these people, these companies, these traders, whoever they are investing your money? I've been told that they're gambling your money. So if you want to gamble your money with your eyes closed, your hard-earned money, by the way, um, then that's on you. But I'm here to tell you that there's other ways that you could profit, you could invest your money that's a lot safer than the stock market. Pay attention, guys. Please. I don't have a 401k. I don't have a pension fund. And I don't give a shit about them. I have no intentions of having a pension. Um, if I have to get another job, I don't have any interest in that. I don't have any interest in the union, at the school boards. Like I've been told that I should join because it's this and it's that and it's better. No, thank you. No, I want to control my money. And if I suck with money, then I'm at fault. It's my responsibility to get my ass out of that shithole that I've been in since my husband passed away. I still struggle with finances, but I'm not gonna join a 401k. Okay. And I know a lot of people join 401ks for the simple fact is because we bought into this idea of like that's a savings account for when you retire. And we've been so conditioned to believe that to be true. But today, I'm telling you, do your research. It's different. Okay. We're losing money, guys. And our money is not worth as much as it used to 20 years ago. Things are going up. Our value of our dollar is going down. Our house look like our value is going up, but in reality, it's fake. Okay, it's fake money, guys. I'm telling you, the value of your house is not what it's supposed to be. It's in a bubble. Okay, and we all get excited about that. And I'm gonna talk on that because, like I said, I've been through this shit. I've taken money out. Me and my husband taking money out from our house. And I remember one incident I'll never forget. And I know people are living this experience right now. When we first bought our house, I think 2 years later, or 4 years later, something like that, we what did we do? What is it called? We refinanced our home. We took money out towards it. And now our house was back more, we owed more for our house. But then guess what? When the crash happened in 2008, 2007, guess what? We owed more money than what our house was worth because of the fucking crash. And I could tell you right now that we lost. Well, the bank lost, obviously, because they took it away from us. They took it away from me because he passed away, so he didn't care after that. But there was a huge gap, guys. I'm talking about, let me see, I could honestly tell you guys, there was like a $80,000 to $100,000 gap. We would have stayed in that house, we would have just kept paying and paying, and our house wouldn't have worth anything. So let me ask you this question. You think your house is, let's say your house you're saying that your house is worth 300,000, and let's say you owe 270. Your house is worth 300,000, but you owe 270. Okay. When the crash happens and the market corrects and your house falls down to 220, 230, the value of your house, not 300,000, but you owe 270, the value is 230, would you still keep paying? Would you still keep paying that mortgage on a house that's not worth 270? It's not worth it, guys. That's a question that my husband had, and we talked about back then. But back then, it was just a little glimpse of information, and we just kind of, he got sick and things just happened, and it was so chaotic, and we didn't know if he was going to survive and whatnot. But anyways, that was the number 6 one, guys, and I'm going on 38 minutes, and I hope this information, if you stay to the end, thank you. I hope I've helped you shed some light in some parts of that 6 that I mentioned in my video. Um, if I was able to help one person and shed the light on them, um, then I helped someone, and um, I'm grateful for that. But I'm tired of holding all this information in. So that's another thing that I wanted to say. I took another path when it comes to mental illness, because I knew the risk involved with the psychiatric meds. I knew the long-term effects. I knew tapering off the medications are hard. I knew all the side effects because I saw it, I read it, I did my research, I followed up with stories after stories after stories, and I said, I am not going to force medication on my kids. Now, I did put it on the counter for both of them. For my older son, he never took it. He's perfectly fine now, with the exceptions of him being a human, and he's not perfect, but neither are you, neither am I. But he got out of that, right? He got out of the mental health system, right? And he's not involved in no medications. And so with my daughter, the same thing. She's been in and out of the hospital since 2020. She's getting better and better. This was a big fight that happened at my mom's house with her. Something happened, which I know what happened, okay? Because I've been working with my daughter. I've been helping her. And all they wanted to do, like I said, I put it on the counter. If she doesn't take it, she doesn't take it. And she hasn't. So I'm not forcing anything. I'm going with the flow, and I'm going with helping her in other ways. So I'm taking this path. I'm not taking the path of what most people are taking probably, and what society's been conditioned in our brain, that's the only way. Psychiatric meds are the only way. And again, I'm going to say this again. This works in my household, with my family, with my kids, helping them. It might not work in your household. So don't hold me accountable for sharing my story, because this is my story, my experience. I learned it in my mind. I educated myself. I learned it. I taught it with my hands many times, how to help someone with mental illness. And then I applied it with my hands, like I said, and now I know by heart. I know by heart, guy. You know why? Because I've done it with my son. Now I'm doing it with my daughter. So you can't tell me that psychiatric meds are the only way. Brother, you can't tell me that psychiatric meds, therapy, are the only way. Okay? And I'm here to share this because my brother pushed the red button for me, or the wrong button for me, or whatever you want to call it, and it got me on this rampage. But I'm calm. I'm just expressing right now. This is my way of expressing. I'm a little louder, and I get a little excited because I think parents need to know this stuff. People need to know this stuff and become aware of it, that there's so much good information out there. There's so many other alternatives, so many other ways. And another thing that I wanted to talk about, not I want to talk about this, it's just CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. I've been meaning to do some research on that for my daughter, but I haven't had a chance to. Like I said, she just keeps me busy, guys. She keeps me busy, she keeps me patient, she keeps me continuously giving unconditional love. And unconditional love, guys, comes with a lot of compassion. Compassion comes with a lot of patience. So if you don't have the unconditional love for your family, to understand them, to educate yourself, to learn about what they're going through, then you're not going to have the compassion to relate to them, or even the empathy. And without the compassion, you're definitely not going to have the patience, my friends, family. You're just not going to have the patience. And you need a whole lot of fucking patience. I'm telling you right now. So I'm ending this video. I just want to say God bless you guys, man. I don't know any of you guys. I have 113 subscribers, new ones. Thank you. I hope I brought some information for you that could help you in your life, whatever you're going through. But I might have hit a nerve in me right now. I'm thinking I might have found my niche online, because I've been kind of trying to figure out this YouTube platform. Like, man, what's my niche? Who's my audience? Who am I talking to? Like, I don't know. And I might have I might have found my niche, but that's for another video because I need to explore more on that. Like I said, these are information, these are ideas. I didn't create these ideas, guys. I did not come up with these ideas that I'm doing at home, applying it with my hands, knowing it by heart, experiencing with my kids, myself, my 9 to 5 job, this online stuff since 2008. I didn't create this stuff, guys. I didn't come up with the idea, for if that makes sense. Okay, I just grabbed it out of the universe, out of the ether, um whatever you want to say. It was already available for us. All this information is available for us, so just enjoy it, guys. Grab it, experience, try it, try new things, see if it works. Okay, find other ways to invest your money, or come up with an interest or a passion that you've been always putting off, and start posting stuff on other platforms. Or don't even, just make a video, just take pictures, save it on your phone, and when the time feels it that it's right for you to post it or share it with the world, then you do that. Look at me, I'm 51 years old and I'm still trying shit. Like I said, um I'm still experimenting. I'm experimenting with these videos, guys. Like, I don't know how far this is gonna take me, or who's gonna, you know, want to see more of me on this YouTube platform. I don't know. I don't know yet. Um, but like I said, this has been really fun to make. I have to admit, this video has been really fun. And I'm not worried about it going to 49, 50 minutes. It's whatever. I'm just gonna post it, and hopefully I will inspire someone to start posting, and not think about their 9 to 5 job as um, the only way to make money, and start being a creator that we are, that we all are. We have so much gifts in us, guys. We have so much gifts. Like, we are unlimited when it comes to talent and gift, that we will never come to see or experience all the gifts that we have in us before we die. We're going to die with some of them, guys. Guaranteed. So this is the time for you to, if you haven't started, start posting, guys. And I will maybe see you on my next video. If not, then take care. Stay awakened. Continue to awaken yourself. Stay conscious. And enjoy your journey, because this is all what it is right now. This is a journey of a lifetime. Everything is a journey, guys. Don't think of anything as a destination. Take care.